If you're thinking about buying the TP-Link Tapo P100 smart plug, wait just a second because I'm about to reveal some issues that might change your mind. On the surface, this $39.98 smart plug looks like a great deal. 4.5 stars on Amazon, compatibility with Alexa and Google Assistant, and all those convenient scheduling features. But here's what surprised me: many users encounter annoying restrictions and quirks that you absolutely need to know before spending your hard-earned cash. Hold up, because this isn't your usual glowing smart device review. In fact, what I uncovered takes the shine off this popular gadget and might just save you from future frustration. But why is something so highly rated causing so much headache? Let's dive deep and uncover the truth behind the Tapo P100. Alright, so who is the TP-Link Tapo P100 actually for? If you want to dip your toes into smart home tech and automate your appliances with voice control or scheduled timers, this plug promises a lot. Imagine waking up to a coffee pot ready to go or turning off your living room lights without leaving your bed. Sounds dreamy, right? But if you hate being locked into an app ecosystem or crave flexibility beyond the basics, this smart plug may not fit your needs. It definitely targets beginners or casual smart home users who prefer simple setups and don't want to tinker with more complex systems. A tiny piece of advice: if you're the kind of person who enjoys fiddling with tech or expects seamless integration with multiple smart hubs, buckle up. The ride might not be so smooth. Now, here's the story. When I first got the TP-Link Tapo P100, I was excited to test its features. Setup was pretty straightforward thanks to Bluetooth-assisted pairing and the dedicated Tapo app. That initial wow moment where you imagine how life's gonna get easier hit me pretty quickly. Scheduling devices, multi-user access so the whole family can control the plug, and voice assistant compatibility all sounded like a dream come true. But then things started to get weird. The app can be clunky, sometimes refusing to respond or forgetting your scheduled settings. Trying to control the plug remotely, not always reliable. I'll admit, at one point I almost yelled at my coffee machine as it adamantly refused to start brewing. Turns out it's not the machine's fault, it was the plug. Not the ideal morning crisis. Here's a funny thought. Owning the Tapo P100 is a bit like having a conversation with your teenager. You ask nicely, but sometimes they just don't listen. Scheduling, missed it. Remote access, spotty at best. Multi-user support, more like multi-confusion. But why does this happen? The main culprit is that the Tapo devices only work exclusively with the Tapo app. Unlike some competitors using a broader ecosystem, you're stuck. The Casa Smart app, also from TP-Link, won't work with Tapo devices, and that could disappoint anyone who's already invested time in that platform. It's like buying a universal remote only to discover it controls one channel. Confusing, right? But wait, there's more. Sometimes voice control through Alexa or Google Assistant can feel less like having a helpful assistant and more like arguing with a stubborn roommate. Delays, failures to recognize commands, or the plug turning on and off at weird times make the smart home feel, well, a little dumb. Amazon reviews echo some of this frustration, with users complaining about inconsistent connectivity and lack of firmware support to fix bugs over time. I guess the only smart part here is the marketing department. Speaking of marketing, the description claims, control your devices from anywhere at any time. But in reality, if your Wi-Fi is weak or occasionally drops, you may as well be stuck with a traditional plug. This plug doesn't thrive in flaky network conditions, so if your home Wi-Fi is less reliable than a cat's attention span, you'll definitely notice the shortcomings. If you just want a plug-and-play solution that doesn't unravel into tech drama, proceed carefully. The Tapo P100 is not always your reliable buddy. Still, I'll admit, it's not all doom and gloom. When it works, and that's a big one, the Tapo P100 is a budget-friendly and easy-to-use product, perfect for beginners who want a little smart convenience without paying premium prices or dealing with complex setups. The multi-user access is one feature I genuinely liked, allowing family members to control devices without sharing logins. And the scheduling feature really shines when it sticks. Imagine kids being told, "lights out," without your constant nagging. But that's the catch. Reliability matters when you're automating a home, and inconsistency turns convenience into annoyance quickly. Rehooking you here, wondering if this product can redeem itself, or is it a smart plug that's all hype and no substance? Hold tight, we're almost to the verdict. But before I give my final thoughts, here's some humor to lighten the mood. Why did the smart plug break up with the Wi-Fi? Because it felt disconnected. And here's another. I tried talking to my Tapo P100, but it didn't respond. Guess it really took smart to mean silent. Okay, last joke. Why did the electrician carry around a Tapo plug? Because he wanted to switch things up. All right, enough jokes, back to business. Let's talk alternatives quickly, because if you're considering the Tapo P100 but feel hesitant after what I've shared, you shouldn't feel stuck. There are other smart plugs with similar pricing that offer broader app compatibility, better customer support, and increased reliability. Some even offer energy monitoring features, which the Tapo P100 lacks. And if you want to laugh, try plugging the Tapo P100 into one of those smart home ecosystems that like to play well with others. Spoiler alert, it's like trying to fit a square peg in a round hole. So what's the bottom line? If you're a first-time user who wants a pretty inexpensive smart plug and doesn't mind being locked into the Tapo app, the TP-Link Tapo P100 can still be a decent option. You'll get voice control via Alexa and Google, easy setup and basic scheduling, which covers the needs of many casual buyers. However, if you expect flawless performance, seamless multi-app integration, or rock-solid remote control without hiccups, you might want to keep shopping. Sometimes, spending a little more for a better ecosystem or more robust connectivity pays off in peace of mind. On a positive note, TP-Link frequently updates their product's firmware and app, so it's possible some of these bugs may be ironed out over time. Plus, the price, currently at $39.98, is attractive enough to entice DIY smart home beginners who want to test the waters without drowning in complex setups or costs. And hey, it's always fun to geek out when your coffee starts brewing right when your alarm goes off. Just maybe don't bet on that working every day. Before we wrap up, one last mini twist. Sometimes, the best smart home devices aren't about the gadgets themselves, but about learning what you want from your smart home. If the TP-Link Tapo P100 teaches you that app exclusivity and patchy connectivity aren't your cup of tea, then it did its job by putting you on the path to something better. Smart homes should be smart and simple, not just smart for marketing. All right, if you're still curious and want to grab the TP-Link Tapo P100 for yourself, check the link in the description below for the best current price on Amazon. Keep in mind, prices fluctuate fast, so if you see a good deal, jump on it before it disappears. Whether you decide to go for it or not, I hope this review helped you avoid surprises and maybe gave you a chuckle along the way. Thanks for watching, and remember, being smart about buying smart devices can save you headaches and dollars.